Welcome back, awesome Astro fans and subscribers. I have a Revol Mini here, sculpted by Yagamuchi Katsuhisa. It says on it is Basara. Not sure if that's the figure's name. Not familiar with him. And this is by Kyodo, the company that do the capsule skeleton eggs. And it says also Capcom, so maybe he is a character from a Capcom game, but I don't recognize him. I got him because he looks really cool. He's 118 scale, or on the large side of 118 scale. He just looks awesome. Look at the back, it shows you what it looks like and some of the dynamic posing that can be done. Let's crack him open and see what he is like. He should come with the display stand too, it looks like. Okay. So I get stickers about the brand in the box. He comes with some huge claw hands. I mean, ridiculous. Wolverine will be jealous. Okay, so he comes with his claw hands. He comes with this sword. The plastic has got some bend, but it looks really, really nice. Good scale. He comes with these, I'm not sure why, lots of sort of sword blade handles. Aha! I think I realise why. For these swords here, maybe inside his grip. So 6, or rather 2 doubles and 2 singles on these. He comes with an alternate head, which I prefer to his default one. This is without the helmet, and he's got the eye patch, and that sculpting and that paintwork is really good. Needs some shading though, some inking. The figure itself. Okay, so these will go into his swords on the side of his on his sides there. He is really nice looking. And on the back we have his display stand. He looks like he's in the scale really well with my other 118 stuff. And I'm sort of slowly getting a nice collection of Asian stroke Oriental figures together, and he will fit in very nicely with those. Okay. He also has here 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 additional hands, so 2 pairs extra with his display stand. His default hands are like this, which won't hold his swords very well. You can include this. He's got swords between his fingers as an additional pair of hands, and he does have articulation like that on these hands and also on these hands. Before I start swapping things around, let's have a look at him here. He looks phenomenal. The paintwork is great, really nice. The plastic is shiny. He's got articulation on these side parts on his swords. This you can pose and they can move and not be in the way. That is a really, really nice looking figure. In fact, now that he's standing up, he looks a lot bigger than 118. The only issue I can see at the moment is maybe he can't get enough forwards action on his feet to stand up without his base. Because look, there you go, he wants to fall over backwards. I have to put his feet, his legs forward slightly. Let's see. Yeah, he's going to struggle to stand up without his base because the sculpt gets in the way. So I would be tempted, as sacrilegious as it is, to cut down or file down some of the sculpting on the bottom of this part here, so his ankles can go more upwards and he can get a nice position to stand. Otherwise he's going to be leaning forward so far just to try and stand up. So even like that, he wants to fall over backwards because the ankles do not get the position. So that's a real shame there. Let me open up his display stand and have a look, then we'll come back to him and we'll look at his articulation. But the ankles, you know, are already something that aren't particularly good. So this is some parts here, here, and here he's got his spare hands, which I will open because I want to see how he holds his sword. Okay, how does that fit into that? Does that fit into that? That can go into there, I guess. And where's that going to fit on him? I don't see a hole. Well, there's a hole underneath here. I see him very. Let's see unless he goes that way. Can that be alright? He's got a foot plate, so he can stand up, or he can be displayed on this, but that would look rather peculiar. Let me have a look on the boxing very quickly. That goes into there. I realise that, but it just seems very strange how that's going to pose here. So I'll come back to the foot plate in a minute. Let me just change the heads over. Should be just a simple pull off. But I want to be careful with this. There we go. That's quite a thin peg there. This head looks far better. There. Okay, so oops, head came off already. And now his face has come off his head. That can be glued on, or the peg can be glued in. His articulation of his head is going to suffer because of the hair or the helmet, no matter which head you use. So he can look left and right, down and up, small side to side. Shoulders will go so. It's falling apart. Everything. Shoulders will go so high, and then the sculpting will get in the way. Not too bad. He gets almost 90 degrees, about 90 degrees. Bicep curl. He's determined to fall apart on me today, isn't he? Bicep bend. Great bicep bend. He gets over 90 degrees. Pretty cool. So ball joint on the waist system. It's nice that this part does come off, so you can change articulation or improve articulation by removing these parts if you want. It doesn't need that part, but it does look pretty cool. I'm going to fit in. Okay. So on that ball, he knows to have a pretty good left and right, up and down, but I'm scared he'll pop out of joint again. The scabbards are articulated, which means they can be moved in and out of the way, hopefully. Like thus, the side parts, which means his legs can now show the articulation range. Really good full splits going on the sideways. Backwards and forwards will be more difficult because of the sculpting on his parts, but forwards is still good. And backwards, again, he's popping out of his joint here. Backwards is not so good, but forwards is great. Kneecaps are a single joint, but look how tight he gets his leg. Really, really tight. More so if the sculpt was slightly different. And the ankles, as that sculpt at the front needs to be shaved down. His left leg, actually, it might be okay. His left leg fits underneath the tongue of the shoe, fits underneath. The right leg is not. The shoe tongue is on the outside, which is why he's not getting the motion he needs. If I try and force that to the inside, maybe if he'll stay together long enough. Let me just take that part off and try like this. Okay. And his head drops off again. Yeah, now that I force the shoe to tongue underneath, he can stand up much more easily and much nicer. Though he still leans forwards a little bit. I'll go back to his original head, since that seemed to stay on a lot easier than this one. But again, if you look at the jacket here, you can see that peg just sticking out the jacket is too high at the back. Now with the helmet, the back of the helmet does appear to go over the jacket, so it should be a tighter fit, but that head doesn't look as nice if you ask me. So you can stand up just about if we have the tongue of the shoes going under the jacket. Also, it's worth noting that his clothes here, is this articulated or is it stuck? Look, it looks like it's one piece. You could take these parts out, because I can see the joint is. Okay, let me change his hands. If you could just stay standing there. There we go. Let me get the hands out I want, and I'll give you a closer look at him while I'm getting the hands. I will go for his right hand sword hand, leave his left hand the same. I'll keep this part off for now. Hands should just be a simple pull. The hands are all articulated like this, and obviously you can turn them. Very easy to change. Be careful putting the sword in. Yeah, he looks pretty damn cool. It's fun getting this into dynamic posing without him falling apart too much. And he's slightly better ankle articulation as well, because even though he's got well, we know he's got it, but that again, that sculpt is sort of really messing him up. That's a pretty cool pose there, but he's using his sword scabbards to keep upright. Let me put them backwards and see how that will change. Again, looks like a great pose, but it's actually the scabs of the sword that's keeping in place, which is not a bad thing, I guess. Okay, does look great with the sword. If I change his hands again, take the sword out. Let's go for these ones. Yeah, you do not you do not want to mess with him. He just looks phenomenal. Kaido does some great stuff, but the joints always tend to be too loose. The plastic is quite hard. Now he's balancing there without using the scab, which is nice. The plastic is quite hard, so I'm not so keen on cutting off with a knife. For that, I'd probably want to sand down or use a little Dremel on a slow speed to sand it once the feet are taken out. But he is a really beautiful looking figure. I mean, so nice looking. I mean, look how long those are. Let's get a size comparison. I'll put them back together properly, hopefully. Let's take these hands out because these are way too big. Let's take his waist off again. Get his legs to go straight. put on that waist piece again, but that's going to make it more difficult to actually get his body back in a nice tight position. Okay, let's try that. Okay, he's standing. Let's give him some hands. Let's give him the evil right hand. And let's give him a left hand fist. Right, so I can get him to a nice little pose first. God, the articulation is so hard in these sometimes. They've got it, but getting to doing it, it can be quite difficult. Pounding his palm with his fist. Oh, and then he falls backwards and comes apart. Let's try that again. Fixing that waist part, making it stiffer is, with some PVA glue, is doable. With these ankles, as I said, you've got to file down, cut down the sculpt on the shin armour. Okay, he's standing. He looks so damn good. Let me compare him to... I use the Horse Orthonoc, the kit one I just reviewed not long ago. Scales well. If I use Russ Lord from Fortnite, he's a bit taller, but again, he scales really, really, really well. He is such a good looking figure. I'm really happy with him, but it's going to take some work to get him right. I would be tempted to permanently remove these parts. I know they look good. You know, I can fix the handles in on his swords to make him look good, but I just think they get in the way too much. If I'm using his base to pose him properly, then I guess that would not be such an issue. So when we pose him, we have, let's have a look, that one or that one. Probably that one here. The issue is with this. This is so high, there's nothing on his back. The only posing option is under his cloak here. So it just seems like a very strange way of doing it. And again, he comes apart when you want to push this in. So and that doesn't want to fit. And again, there is nothing on his back, so it's really quite annoying. Like he's flying in the air, you know. I'm getting him on the ground. He can't go on the ground. He's too high. This will be for more action poses, and then the foot plate for your more basic poses, I guess. In the future, I will be doing some work on him, see if I can get him to how I want him or how I like him. But as he is, looks amazing. I mean, really, really amazing. Particularly the alternate head, which will come apart again. I'll have to glue that together before I stick it on, I guess. But it comes apart too easily, and the articulation is going to suffer because of the ankles and getting the joints to line up. Okay, let's try this again. Or maybe that's part of the base support, not sure. Okay, this is Awesome Match Toys. I am signing out saying please like, share and subscribe. I'll be back soon with more Awesome Match Toy videos for you. Stay happy and keep collecting, okay? Bye-bye.